Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Garbaugust, Criminality's beloved BookTube event where we all read trash in the month of August, in the dog days of August here in the Northern Hemisphere. The whole point being, as Ollie says this year, to stop wearing and just read trash. And Garbaugust is winding down. We have a week left. I've been reading a lot of trash in August. A lot of it has not been the satisfying kind of trash. But I remembered last night, when I was trying to remember what to put on the pile to read for today's video, last night, I thought back on previous Garbaugust and remembered a trash writer that really does write trash. He isn't trying to do anything else. I thought I'd go back to him since he wrote a lot of novels. James Hadley Chase is the author. I did a video about a book of his, I think, last year that I found interesting. It was trash, definitely trash, but it was interesting. So I went back and read one of his. This is Lady Here's Your Wreath, which he wrote in 1940 under a pen name, but then it was, when he became a success under his own name, it was reissued with his name. And boy, was it bad. Boy, oh boy, was it bad. Borderline not good. Borderline the kind of trash that it really is a waste of your time. It's the story of a guy named Vesey who is killed, but did he actually kill a man named Richmond? Or was it someone else? And that is what a reporter named Nick Mason has to find out. Wants to find out. A voice on the phone offers him money to find out. Get to the bottom of this. Find out who really killed Richmond. And I will make it worth your while. And for some odd reason, he agrees. And Nick Mason, I want to call him a void. I want to call him just an empty space where a character should be. But I can't do that in light of some of the other characters in this book. He, for some reason, agrees and stays to it. Even when he starts to meet the mob, he starts to get beaten up and threatened. The more he inquires into Vesey's past and Richmond's past, the more elements of the mob want him not to. For some reason, they don't kill him. They get increasingly brutal with him. And for some reason, even though he's not a fighter, he's clearly not a writer either. Good Lord. He narrates the story. And he is not... It's not just that he doesn't have a way with words. Plenty of reporters don't. But he's also not interesting. And reporters who aren't interesting don't hold their jobs very long. For some reason, he never quits either. Even though he encounters one betrayal after another. Especially a character named Marty. A woman named Marty. I assume that's her on the cover. Could be Blondie. A woman named Marty. This book, I mentioned yesterday with The Girl Next Door, that The Girl Next Door by Roy Peterson has two types of humans in it, two species of humans. One is thoughtful and can be boneheaded or aspirational and can be courageous or cowardly, and that is men. That's not a certain kind of human, that's men. And then there's another kind of human, subhuman really. They don't think. They never aspire. They cannot dream. They are never brave. They are not trustworthy in any way. Not in any way. They would betray their mother for a crust of bread. And they're mainly only interested in sex. That's mainly what they're interested in. And that subspecies of human is called woman. And never the twain shall meet. And after a while, reading this sort of stuff, you get the impression that the author really did believe that. This is manosphere level misogyny. Marty is... There are attempts made here to feint in the general distant direction that maybe Nick Mason and Marty might be in love with each other, or might dream someday of being in love with each other. Oh my God, no, because I think I said out loud when I was reading near the lovey-dovey conclusion of this novel, I think I said out loud in a murmur in the little book room at like 4 a.m. that if the world really were like this, if people like Marty really did exist, then if Nick Mason fell in love with her, it would be the next thing to bestiality. It would be him mating outside his own species. This was full of action and violence and gunplay, and I loved that. I loved it about the previous James Hadley Chase novel that I read. That it never lets up. Oh my God, the narrative never lets up. It is stripped bare for, no pun intended, it is stripped bare for the reader to keep turning the pages. In that way, it reminded me oddly of Perry Mason, who I'm reading my way through. There's no fat in Perry Mason either, just like in this book, but there's none of the sordidness in this book either. Perry Mason has a brain in its head. All of them do, even the ones that you get the impression that it took Earl Stanley Gardner 2 seconds to write. Whereas this, by the end, I mean, this isn't a long book, and by the end I was wanting it to be over. I feel soiled. I feel soiled. And I wonder, I don't know enough about James Hadley Chase. I think this is only the 3rd book of his I've read. I wonder if there was a change in the way he wrote when he wrote under his name, Marshall. I think the pen name he wrote this under was like Richard or Raymond Marshall. And I wonder if a lot of times when someone writes under a pseudonym to start their career, when they no longer need it, not only will their name change on the book, but their style will change just a bit. And I don't know. I have no idea. This read a lot like the other James Hadley Chase novels that I read that were written under his own name, so maybe not. But this was garbage, well and truly. Well and truly it was. So I am definitely off the algorithm's beaten path for Garbaugust, and we will just see if I stay there. Maybe I'll return to the algorithm. Maybe it misses me. Either way, I will definitely add more trash to the pile for tonight, and I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.